Where's Hal, everybody, and welcome to yet another video. Oh yes, this is a special case, special review, my dear friends. If you've been following my channel for quite some time, you know that I don't always show my face. Just look at that, there's nothing to look at. But this review deserves a camera, because today I'm going to be reviewing a book that I have already read twice, and I've reread it quite recently. It's an independent comic book called The Complete 90s CyberFrog by Warts by Ethan Van Sciver. This is a comic book series from the 1990s. Now, Ethan Van Sciver used to, in the 90s, publish this book about a cybernetic space frog warrior. I will get into that later. And then he worked for DC Comics and a little bit for Marvel Comics. He worked on Green Lantern right there. One of the best artists as far as Green Lantern goes. And he worked on the new X-Men with Grant Morrison, so on and so forth. And now he's self-publishing, or via crowdfund, he's publishing CyberFrog again. Now, I'm an extreme 90s fan. I think that some of you who've been following my channel know. And me being from Europe, I've got this very specific relationship to comic books. I love comics, but I love the medium in general. I couldn't just focus on the American comic books. I love European comics. I read some manga. And I need to say that, especially lately, I have been discovering or experiencing, shall we say, a little bit of a fatigue, superhero fatigue. Don't get me wrong, I still like Green Lantern, Wolverine, Batman, so on and so forth, but I'm looking for something else, and that is precisely what CyberFrog gives you. The 90s CyberFrog is a conglomerate of everything that you loved in the 90s as far as the comic book medium and more. You can see the fact that Ethan Van Sciver was a tremendous comic book fan in the 90s. There's Superman, there's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, there's Spider-Man. And this collection, by the way, contains everything that was published in the 90s as far as CyberFrog goes. So this is, for example, this is from issue 1. Just look at the artwork. Now, Ethan Van Sciver's artwork has developed over the years, of course, and I think that today he is better than he ever was. Now, I will do reviews of his more contemporary stuff. His artwork has become more refined, more detailed. I mean, if you have seen any of the man's live streams, he spends hours drawing just a character's hair. He draws every single strand of hair. And that is something that we will see less and less in the future, I think, with the rise of, firstly, of course, digital media, and then the AI, but I will not get into that too much. But look at that. This is, look at the action. So, as far as this artwork in the 90s, you can see clear inspiration still with, I see a lot of Todd McFarlane, a lot. Now look at the monsters. I mean, you can see a little bit of Violator there, a little bit of Malbolgia from the Spawn comic books from the 1990s. It is also very nicely colored, of course, and what I especially like about it, so I will not go too much into the story, but let me talk about the first issue. Which is here, is this one, close to the beginning, at the very beginning, actually. There was also issue 0, which explained CyberFrog origin into extreme detail. So the first issue begins in an alley where a woman is being threatened by 2 thugs, and of course she is saved by CyberFrog. Trikran, as his name is later being revealed. And so at this stage, we don't know everything about his origin. It is revealed that he is a being with a supernatural being, probably of an extraterrestrial origin. And that one day he realized himself in a swamp, and he thought to himself, well, I look like a comic book character, like a cliche comic book character. So it's this sequence here. So why not act like one? And he becomes a sort of a superhero. of his own will, maybe partially against his own will, because, you know, he accepts the destiny based on what he looks like. I mean, there is originality throughout this entire series. Now, I said at the beginning that it has been inspired by many things, clearly as far as the storytelling goes, and also as far as the artwork goes. But what I especially appreciate about this is not your regular superhero comic book. Trick Gran, or CyberFrog, is, you could call him an anti-hero, but he really isn't an anti-hero. He is a proper hero. He is a good guy. He is a good frog. And in the first issue itself, we've got the look, by the way. Doesn't that remind you of a Nightmare on Elm Street? I mean, visually, this book is gorgeous. Now, you can look at one page for like 15-20 minutes and just bask yourself in great artwork, which is what comic books should be, right? It's visual medium, so ideally it should be well written and well drawn, and this is precisely that. By the way, just about the build of the book, it's a hardcover with a fake leather wraparound, cover with the gold letters here, and it's got a dust jacket with a wraparound. This is the wraparound part with a wraparound illustration. I think this is a new illustration that see there you can see the difference, the evolution of Ethan Van Sciver's artwork. You have seen examples there from the inside of the 90s series, and there you can see the more contemporary Ethan Van Sciver's artwork. As I said, more refined, more details. The colors are tremendous. They were colored by Kyle Ritter, sorry. Yeah, so the first issue does everything what an American comic book single issue should do. It starts with an action scene. It starts with, some danger, some action. It starts in medias res, kind of. But then it also establishes the main character, who he is, what he is all about, where he comes from. Not completely. Ethan Van Sciver, he managed, and he was young when he wrote this. You know, it's surprising to see such a young author being very good at storytelling this way, because he established the character, but he still left, for you, some sort of mystery. And so he also established the villain, Ben Reilly. It's just awesome, awesome man-eating monster. And then he established Heather Swain, the CyberFrog's companion, his friend. And other than that, it's like 22, 23 pages of story in the first issue. And you are not bored from the beginning till the end. So it is a very strange comic book, in a good way. Because it has got everything. It's got the billion, gazillion cases of inspiration and influence. It's got a ton of originality. It's got, at the time, very 90s, very American 90s artwork. That which you want from American comics from the 90s. And at the same time, it's got pace. Very good pacing. So you are not bored reading it from the beginning to the end. And so it managed to grasp my attention to such an extent that I haven't felt that reading any comic book in a long time. And compared to both mainstream and independent comic books published today, especially the one that I reviewed a couple of weeks ago, you know what I'm talking about. Man, come on. So yeah, I'm very much, satisfied with it. Yeah. So I would be ordering more Ethan Van Sciver's books if it was cheap to send them to the Czech Republic, where I'm from. It's not very cheap to ship things to the Czech Republic, and that is why I always have to wait for a collected edition of some sort, so that the shipping pays off. And this was initially like $40, this collected edition, without shipping. 40 bucks? The omnibus editions that you buy from Marvel and DC go for about $100. So yeah, this is 100% worth it. Hit up Ethan Van Sciver on social media. He's got his own eBay store and Indiegogo campaigns. You can get it, I think, still. It's very much worth it. It's worth your time. All right, then. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. No, Bill, thank you very much for watching, and I'm out of here.